It's sad to see that they couldn't come up with a new talent, with a new face that is a reasonable, smart, intelligent person that can lead this country in a Republican way.
You think there's no way he would win again?
No.
What if he did?
What is if it is a hypothetical question? But I can guarantee you that he's going to go maybe get the Republican nomination. Then when it comes down to the actual election, there's too many people now that have seen what he did as president that I think when it comes to the majority on election day, I think they will see the difference between one or the other. And believe me, I'm not the first one to say, hey, this is really great to have Biden back as president. No, but there's just no better option there, the way it looks right now.
Rumor has it that Trump has gone psycho, and you won't believe what caused this. You ever seen a movie where two action stars team up to take down a bad guy? Well, that's exactly what happened when Arnold Swarznegger and Tom Hanks decided to go ballistic and drop the bomb on Donald Trump like a heat-seeking missile on live TV. And trust me, Trump really blew up everywhere.
To overturn the results of an election, and of a fair election. He sought a coup by misleading people with lies. My father and our neighbors were misled also with lies. And I know where such lies lead. President Trump is a failed leader. He will go down in history as the worst president ever. The good thing is that he soon will be as irrelevant as an old tweet. But what are we to make of those elected officials who have enabled his lies and his treachery? I will remind them of what Teddy Roosevelt said. Patriotism means to stand by the country. It does not mean to stand by the president.
Arnold and the grand old party have a relationship worse than I and my ex-girlfriend's. Definitely one full of sparks, loud noises, and questionable decisions. He's been side-eyeing the Republican Party for a while, especially when it comes to their awful decision of a candidate, Donald J. Trump. But what made Arnold go full Terminator this time? It seems he's finally had enough of Trump treating politics like a WWE match, talking big but dodging accountability like a woman that was just caught cheating on her husband. With Trump running his mouth like it's trying to win a marathon, Arnold blew the whistle, and this is where things get crazy.
1947, 2 years after the Second World War. Growing up, I was surrounded by broken men drinking away their guilt over their participation in the most evil regime in history. Not all of them were rabid anti-Semites or Nazis. Many just went along, step by step, down the road. They were the people next door. Now, I've never shared this so publicly because it is a painful memory. But my father would come home drunk once or twice a week, and he would scream and hit us and scare my mother. I did not hold him totally responsible because our neighbor was doing the same thing to his family, and so was the next neighbor over. I heard it with my own ears and saw it with my own eyes.
Arnold Schwarzenegger isn't holding back when it comes to the Republican Party. He says they're heading in the wrong direction, kind of like a GPS that keeps insisting you drive straight into a direction. You can clearly see that is a dead end. In his view, they're acting like that one kid in school who thought being a bully made them popular, only to end up eating lunch alone because even their imaginary friends stopped showing up. But Arnold doesn't stop there. He takes it even further, comparing what's happening in American politics today to Nazi Germany. And this isn't just some over-the-top comparison. His father lived through Nazi-occupied Austria, so he knows what red flags look like. When someone with that kind of history starts sounding the alarm, maybe it's time to wake up and listen. Unless, of course, you prefer to hit snooze like Trump does in reality. His message is clear. The GOP is pouring gasoline on a fire they can't control. Lies and division won't fix anything, no matter how many times you slap truth on a social media platform. And eventually, just like Trump's casinos, marriages, and legal defenses, it all comes crashing down. And just when things seemed intense, what happened next took it to another level.
President Trump, I just saw your press conference with President Putin, and it was embarrassing. I mean, you stood there like a little wet noodle, like a little fanboy. I mean, I was asking myself, when are you going to ask him for an autograph or for a selfie or something like that? I mean, you literally sold out at this press conference our intelligence community, our justice system, and worst of all, our country. You're the president of the United States. You shouldn't do that. I mean, what's the matter with you? I mean, whatever happened to the strong words or to the strength of Ronald Reagan when he stood there at the Berlin Wall and he said, Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall. What happened to all that?
In this clip, Arnold didn't hold back when he saw Trump's press conference with Putin, calling it downright embarrassing. He compared Trump to a wet noodle and a starstruck fanboy, half expecting him to ask for an autograph or a selfie. But this wasn't Comic-Con, this was global politics. Arnold slammed Trump for selling out America's intelligence community, justice system, and worst of all, the country itself. He asked what the matter with him was and wondered what happened to the strength of past leaders like Ronald Reagan.
Why does the President of the United States cut after-school programs and cut from the kids out of their budget $1.2 billion? President Trump promised us that he wants to make America great again. That's not how you make America great. By taking $1.2 billion away from the children and robbing them blind. Why would he do that? Why would he want to balance the budget on the backs of those kids? Kids are the most vulnerable citizens. Kids are our future. We need them. That's why I said every time that we spend money on those kids wisely.
Now we all remember Jimmy Kimmel, yeah? The guy who turns everyday news into comedy gold. Jimmy went on to ask Arnold about Trump's claim of weighing 215 pounds, and Arnold couldn't resist injecting some humor. As a bodybuilding icon, he sidestepped the question with a witty remark, suggesting Trump could improve his fitness by simply running around himself 3 times, both a workout and a reality check. I mean, look at the guy. If Trump stepped on a scale and it said 215, that scale would definitely need therapy. When pressed further, Arnold compared the claim's credibility to denying climate change or pollution, making it clear he wasn't buying it. With a knowing smirk, he admitted that while Trump's self-proclaimed weight might make him feel better, the rest of the world wasn't fooled, because 215 was looking a lot more like 315.
And we know how that turned out. The ratings went right down the tubes. It's been a total disaster, and Mark will never, ever bet against Trump again. And I want to just pray for Arnold, if we can, for those ratings.
Now, this is the President of the United States. You're laughing. You're laughing. You see, he's laughing.
Because I think it's funny.
Well, well, the President of the United States at a prayer breakfast says this. Why do you think it's funny?
Well, I think it is funny that he uses a prayer breakfast. I think, plus, I have thick skin. I mean, this doesn't bother me at all, and this is...
In a classic Trumpian jab, Donald tried to throw shade back at Arnold Schwarzenegger, mocking his Apprentice ratings flop. With his signature bravado, he claimed hiring the big movie star was a total disaster, and joked about praying for Arnold's ratings. It was less of a burn and more of a slow flickering candle, but Trump was determined to make it stick, and his message was, never bet against Trump. Arnold, however, was hardly fazed, because when you've battled predators and terminated cyborgs, a reality TV rant is just background noise. And speaking of reality TV rants, another of America's favorite movie stars turned political attacking patriot, fondly known as America's dad, Tom Hanks also had a few words to say about Trump.
Sorts of circumstances and times, we have never turned to a simplistic, self-involved gas bag of a candidate. They are out there. They have been there. I'm a lay historian. I read history for pleasure. And there has always been a Huey Long. There has always been a Wendell Willkie, although he was a pretty good guy. There's always been a Herbert Hoover. There's always been a Senator Joseph McCarthy. There's always been some version of the current nominee of the Republican Party that holds sway. But we never invest our future with them. We have never done it, and we will not do it now.
In an interview, Tom Hanks sits back and speaks with the calm confidence of someone who has seen history repeat itself. He explains that America has always faced difficult times, problems that seem impossible to fix. However, in those moments, the country has never placed its future in the hands of a self-absorbed gas bag. He recalls past figures like Huey Long and Joseph McCarthy, noting that attention-seeking politicians have always existed. But history shows that the nation never fully entrusts them with power. With quiet certainty, he believes Americans will once again choose a better path forward.
You hear about the election that we're having? Did you hear about this? It's crazy this year, isn't it? Oh dear, oh no, that's not, he was at work, man. He wasn't in the locker room, he was at work. He was showing up to do a thing on camera. Look, a lot of people, look, I'm offended as a man. I'm not offended as a husband or a father. I'm offended as a guy. That's just not right. I'm sorry. It's not right at work. It's not right in the locker room.
But things don't even end there. This funny guy, Trump, who claims to be unshakable, is now trembling like a Jenga tower in an earthquake. And all it took? One word. Not a fiery speech, not a comedy roast, just a single well-placed word from none other than Tom Hanks. Suddenly, Trump is pacing around like he's preparing to challenge his own reflection to a debate. This isn't just anyone calling him out, it's America's dad, the man who turned a simple bus stop conversation into life philosophy, and who could probably walk into any diner in America and leave with a free slice of pie and a standing ovation.
You know, in the past, there were Republicans that I never questioned that their sincerity or their belief in the American system. And I think with the administration the way it's been, I think I'm not sure the man has took his oath seriously to preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the United States. You give a guy a fair shot for as much as you can, and I have great faith in our system of government. But I believe that I have witnessed, from my perspective, is that there is fear and outrage and xenophobia has been commoditized. It's turned into the bigger trademark for how.
Tom Hanks, a man who once made us care deeply about a volleyball, stepped in during another interview with Graham Benzinger. He reminisced about a time when Republicans, whether he agreed with them or not, at least seemed sincere in their commitment to America's core values. But with Trump, that sincerity seemed about as real as a Hollywood set. Hanks questioned whether Trump ever truly took his oath seriously, or if he just treated it like another reality TV script. He called out how fear, outrage, and xenophobia had become America's new best-selling brand.
Oh, well, thank you. Hey, now speaking of church, can I say something? If more folks went to church, we wouldn't be in this mess we're in now.
You know what? I agree with you, Doug. I'd like to shake your hand, sir. Here we go.
No,
Oh, no. Oh, no, it's just a handshake. Yeah, it's just a handshake. Yeah, all right. You're welcome in Black Jeopardy anytime.
All right. Well, thank you, my brother. Maybe I'll start a show for you to come on, and we'll call it White Jeopardy.
No. We don't need it. We don't need it.
What happened next is just unbelievable. Just one word, and suddenly Trump is on a full-blown rant, like a contestant on The Apprentice who just got fired. Social media is flooded with angry posts, vague threats, and the classic, "Who even likes Tom Hanks anymore?" The same guy who probably once praised Apollo 13 as a great, very educational movie is now acting like he never cared. Next thing you know, he'll be saying Big was overrated, and that Hanks' character should have been investigated for fraud. And of course, no Trump meltdown is complete without random detours. Suddenly, it's not just about Hanks, it's Hollywood, the Oscars, maybe even NASA. Before you know it, he's ranting about how A League of Their Own was too political and accusing the Polar Express of brainwashing kids into believing in government-controlled Christmas. By the time he's done, he'll probably blame Hanks for low TV ratings and try to sue him for making movies too good. Meanwhile, Hanks is probably somewhere entirely unbothered, fixing a toaster, writing a heartfelt letter, or doing literally anything but acknowledging Trump's meltdown. And that's the one thing Trump truly can't handle. So, with Arnold flexing his political biceps and Hanks hitting Trump where it hurts his ego, what's next? Is this the moment Trump finally accepts defeat? Or is he already drafting a 2 a.m. rant about how the terminal was a personal attack on American borders? Will he go full conspiracy mode and accuse Hanks of being part of a secret Hollywood cult that controls the world through typewriters and old VHS tapes? One thing's for sure, the game isn't over yet, and the playground is still wide open. So, if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share, because something tells us that we haven't seen all of Trump's psychopathic behaviors.